Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. All right, the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. So, a trigger warning, please. A disclaimer: all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. And in today's episode, I'm going to be looking at the two missing moms, Jillian, Kelley, and Veronica Butler, who went missing out of Oklahoma while going to go pick up the kids. So just a quick backstory. The backstory is a little bit complicated, so I'll keep it as brief as possible. Veronica was on the way to pick up her kids, and because of a court order, she needed someone to accompany her, and that was Jillian Kelley, who had been appointed by the courts. Now, there's been a custody issue between Veronica and her partner, or ex-partner. So there's been that playing in the background. Now, her husband had been released from prison about a week or so before the missing day, and he was released on March the 22nd, 2024, and this is public information. The information I got is from a lawyer's channel who had called up these documents and revealed, unfortunately, a messy situation between two people. And of course, we know there's kids involved as well. Now, an exercise that I'm doing in the upcoming book is to identify emotional markers. And in this case, the date range will be from March the 22nd to March the 30th. So when you've got a spousal situation, there's obviously going to be emotional outbursts or emotional energy levels. So that's what I did first. And the first emotional marker that I picked up was, for me, was March 25, to the right, March 25, 2024. We see that 28-10-1. Now, that is an argument. So 2 is a couple, emotional, family. 8 is the communication, verbal. But because it's a 28-10-1, that 10 is that energy burst we're talking about. And it's all about personal opinions, right? With an outcome 1. His view and her view. But on March the 25th, because we have that argument, we also have an outcome 18-9. So, in my opinion, things could have got very heated on that particular day, where even death threats were made. So it would be worth looking into March the 25th and see what kind of situations happened with Veronica and her partner or ex-partner, however the situation was. But March the 25th was a heated day, and continued actually into March the 26th, where the day starts at 26-8. Now, in this situation, the 26-8 is going to mean, and I'll explain why it means something other than a staging or a setup event. Because we've got two individuals in an emotional state, the 2-6-8 becomes 2 again as the couple. It's about family. 2, it's emotional. 2, 6, heated, angry. not nice words being said, anger, and the 8 is the communication. So we have, 28-10-1 is quite a serious argument. It's an argument. Let's say it's an argument backwards and forwards, 28-10-1. Whereas 26-8 is more like, you, this, that kind of thing. And we got those triple eights, complete imbalance there. And the numbers don't get better, unfortunately. So we get the 29-11-2. So that's the outcome for the day. That's what's happening during the day. You got two people fighting. There's legal issues. 11-2 is the legal battle. 11-2 is about the law. And the 37-10-1, having listened to the lawyer, the 37-10-1 then alludes me to the judicial system, because we have the 7 and we have the 3. There's a collective decision, a court decision, and unfortunately, this is where Jillian comes in. Now, according to the lawyer, there had to be supervised visitations. And of course, Veronica was then appointed Jillian as the custodian. So when we get to that 19-10-1, for me, like this guy, I must say, like generally, this guy would have been going berserk already. I mean, he pops on March the 25th, he pops argument. And I'm going to go back to the day that he's released there. There's some significant markers on that day which reflect on the day that the two women go missing, the two moms go missing. We'll note the 33-6. So let's talk about that now while we're there. Very interesting, actually. March 22. So we have the 22-4, which is a pound number. Now, this is what I say about numerology and numbers. We are more than a number. Okay? Each number in the chart has a maximum, minimum, if you like. Negative to positive, or positive to negative, however you want to look at it. And that lever in our own, as we grow up as adults, we should be able to maneuver that lever that is more responsible and mature when dealing with situations. But of course, some people's developmental growth, EQ, and all these kind of things play in a part where some people still behave like kids, or the emotional EQ is of a child. So for me, on March the 22nd, 22-4 in a negative aspect crime situation, because the vehicle the two women were traveling in was found abandoned. For me, the husband has been in jail, I forget now exactly how long, but he's been in jail for a fair amount of time. So he comes out that day, 22-4, that's a plan. That's a plan that has been put together over time. When you see crime events, and I'll try to point it out each time, that during a crime event you have a 22-4. That's a marker for premeditation. So if you had to determine if a crime scene was premeditated or accidental or whatever the situation is, one of the key marker, 22-4, says planned, right? 25-7, like if there was ever a bitter divorce, 25-7, so you got the two people, emotional couple, 5 difficulties. With the 7 is like separation. Like 7 can mean freedom, or 7 is also a key indicator for someone being kidnapped. But we appreciate the backstory that the two of them have been bumping heads for a while. So 25-7, he's made a plan that's going to sort out this issue. And his plan is 33-6, bingo. And we unfortunately see that 33-6 on the March the 30th, where the two women have now been missing. And why? 15-6, because he's an arsehole. He's a bad man, bad human being. 15-6. It's like he couldn't give a damn. Actually, there is another marker here, March 23rd. The next day already there's arguments going. 26-8, it's already started. It felt like weird. Why did it take like 4 days? Did he go on a bit of a binge for 4 days and then decide to take action? It's the very next day. I mean, of course, he probably would have done something on the day that he got out, but definitely as a marker, 26-8, that there's an argument going on. See, there's that 34-7 again. That's more legal. That's a more legal 34-7. Reason being is, so 3 is like the court's collective, but 4 is about facts, documentation, that kind of thing. And 16-7, now this would tell me also, like if you're looking for a serial killer, 16-7 is a key indicator. But in this case, as far as I understand it from the backstory from the lawyer, is the 16-7 is of a serial nature. In other words, they've been going backwards and forwards to court. There's been ongoing issues backwards and forwards. It's like a continuous circle, or cycle rather. See, March 24 is also not a good sign, so I'll tell you why. 24-6, so that's family. Okay. 24-6 is about family. And correct, by the way, March 23 has 3 8s there as well. Also a bit of a wobbly day, actually. Let me put a triangle there. I don't want to take up too much of the time in between these things. So that 24-6, there's the family situation. That's family. And this is about the boyfriend. This is not some random person pulled over or got the two women to pull over because no. This guy planned this thing. It was planned and premeditated. And I believe there was an attempt. He would have tried this before the actual March the 30th, I believe. And that day would have been March the 27th. I believe it wasn't, it was 50-50 with those 11 twos, but look, the day starts at 27-9. That's going for it. Like a hit. So March 24 starts with family, 24-6. 27-9, now there's that 27-9. This is like ending things the wrong way. I just can't comprehend. Can we not deal with things as adults? And of course, some people grow up in a cycle of abuse or whatever it is, and they're fixed in that kind of mode. And that's why that 15-6 on March the 22nd, that's like a, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm just giving you a sense of what that 15-6 is. It's like the dregs of a human. he's obviously been in jail for a while, but he's got down to his caveman roots, if you like. Yeah, maybe that's a better explanation. He's a caveman when he comes out of prison. Archaic. And unfortunately, this is the tale of the story, is that you got an irate spouse who is out of control. Even the next day, you got the triple eights. March the 24th, you got all those eights. So family, 24-6, 27-9, not the way to deal with things. 35-8. I would actually, there's too much going on March 24. I would flag that day as well. That's a day to look into the life of Veronica. So March, see how volatile it is. March 24, March 25, arguments going on. March 26, fights. Now we're in court. Now there's court procedures in play. March 27, I believe he was going to go for it, yeah. And what saved the day, and I'm just looking in comparison, we've got that 12-3 in the day. That's all about control. And it favors feminine energy, 3. And we got that 38-11 too. So it was like a 50-50, but I believe he intended, on this day. So they went missing Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday, March 27, I believe there would have been an attempt. March 28. So the day obviously begins again with arguments. That's another emotional flag there. Arguments, 28. 13-4, ending it. And I think, with all those 3s, the situation is now really getting out of control. So now 3 is about control as well. So number 3 is about control. 8 is about balance. And when you got so many 3s, you got a 3 in the month. You've got the 3 as an outcome for the day. And you got 2 8s. This is a volatile situation, unfortunately. So on March 29, there's the male, 4-0 with an outcome 4, 44. Male has an outburst on this day. So actually then March 29 also becomes a day of interest. Because the outcome of that day, when he went to sleep that night, he was flippant. He was angry. He was gonna, and with that 13-4, he's like, now had it. He has had it. That 44 is a male now having an outburst. So that we get to March the 30th, we find the 2 women in the 33. A lot of emotions going around, a lot of energy going around. And the time of their disappearance, we have the 33-6 and the 8. And unfortunately, that's not a good sign. And I believe, shortly thereafter, a tornado goes through this. So thoughts and prayers to the people out there. So March 30 is not a good day. The outcome 14-5. So now when we go past March the 30th, we get obviously March the 31. And then I've included March 32 and March 33 as an energy flow. So I can just see continuously what happens. And two key markers. We have the fifth. So now the March 31 and March 32, March 33, if you will. The way I'm those 3 days are now going to reflect what happened on March the 30th and what the outcomes were. Okay? So immediately the next day, let me just, beg your pardon. 14-5 deals with males. That's a male issue. And I believe he might have got one of his friends or someone involved here, because I don't believe, with that 14-5, he didn't act alone. I don't believe. And when you get that 15-6, the following day outcome, pings directly on that 15-6 when he is released from prison. And the 6. So these are just interesting markers. It's like fingerprints at the crime scene. Now, when we get to March 33, as it were, we have that 33-6. Now I'm going to show you a chart. Well, it's the same chart, but I'm going to show you something here. There we go. There's a link when the husband is released on 33-6. The missing moms, 33-6. And the March 33 for me would be like a summary of what happened, 33-6. So 33-6 is arsehole, commits a heinous crime, 36-9. Unfortunately, that's not a good outcome. And the 44-8 and all those 8s is not very good to the human body, unfortunately. Now, it just so happens when I saw the video on the lawyer, and of course I've viewed some footage now in the last 12 hours with regards to the tornadoes out there. I believe it is a farming community. And based on the numbers that I'm seeing following the missing moms, I'm just doing a double confirmation here. So that 44-8 is a very troublesome number in a crime, because but it points me in the direction of, so there's definitely land, lots of land, but there's also lots of mechanical. So it could point in the direction of that we could find them on a farm, or a farm with mechanical operations, and of course most farms are. But I would definitely say farm, or like a farm. Is it a farm? Farm. With mechanical operations. So definitely on a piece of land, definitely taken to a piece of land. farming country, farming land. I would say above average mechanical operations on that farm. I haven't heard what the reports are, if they've, where the investigation is. I purely found this out by a YouTube lawyer, or a lawyer with a YouTube video, like a YouTube channel. And the case hasn't been reported that much in the media, apparently. So I jumped on this quickly. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, the sense that I got that when the situation went down, that I believe it was like quick and fast. On that day, 33, couple of eights around, it would have been very violent. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it just keeps on feeling like it happened very quickly. Whatever the plan was, it was done very quickly. There was no messing around, wasting time. And there's another marker here, 42.6. And I've seen it recently in a case. 42.6 is like, if you want to take it literally, dividing your family in half. But in not such a good way. And lots of destruction. All right, let's hope for a positive outcome, but it's not looking great. And of course, if there's not a positive outcome, at least let's get the perpetrator caught. There's some key dates to look at for the investigators. But what a shame. Another caveman with no means of verbal communication of any intellectual kind. All right, please leave your comments, and I love engaging with your comments. And please stay safe out there, and look after yourselves. Bye for now.